Welcome to AKHAND Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's bring a new terminology, AKHAND BRAHMAND. I have spoken about Brahmand, I have spoken about Mahabrahmand, so I am introducing a term, AKHAND Mahabrahmand. And in this particular thing, I am also adding a symbol in the center which is very different from what I have used earlier. But there is Om and a particular symbol, and this symbol has a width of 7 and the height of 22, which is pi, and it also shows sun in the bottom and pole star at the end. This is literally an axis from center of the sun, which is soul of our solar system, from which everything has come, right up to the pole star, and it is connected with the interconnecting thing to show how there are 7 stages in this particular consciousness itself. And I am talking about the integration of 7 divine souls. We have started a new process in the last 1 or 2 weeks which talk with the 7 divine souls. And I have started in the process from core of Dhruv, the highest pole star, which has been used by Marines for generations to find locations on the earth. And I also talk of Aditya, the central sun, which is our presiding deity and which made the life on the earth very, very living conscious. And I also talk about Bharat, which I will be talking with the next as an Akhand Bharat, is the land from which I am talking about, Shiv Bhushan. In this picture, you can see S, you can see pole star, you can see sun, and you can see earth and me. And that is the combination which has made me realize oneness with the universal consciousness and give Divyang for the first time in the history of mankind in 2015. Now coming to Saptarishi Brahman, which I say it's a Brahman which is in tune with universal consciousness, and they are the spiritual scientists. This is a picture we all know very well, and they are called Saptarishis by all the authors or even scientists. Now, as I have been making it one point again and again, this is something I experienced, and after that I have been talking about it. I was made to stand on a tile of 2 feet by 2 feet, stand with the hands parallel to the ground and go around my axis within the 2 by 2 feet without moving even an inch here and there. I was asked to do for 252 times, but I did it for 268 times and I was comfortable, and at the end 3 times I went in the anti-clockwise and then stopped, and I was as comfortable as possible, and it took me more than 10 minutes to reach that level of consciousness, and I think that was a very super conscious experience which made me feel one from middle of the earth to the sun to spiral galaxy to the greater universe right up to the pole. And that's where I realized they're all interconnected Atma. Now this is Atma I am talking about. Sanatana Dharma says Atma cannot be cut, burnt, dissolved. It is eternal, will always remain, and that's the quality which I see in noble gases, inert matter, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and astatine, and I have explained. Now first 3 divine essence, which let's talk about it once again. First, I always got Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman has always been spoken, is the formless, omnipotent, omniscient, which many people say cannot be even seen. But I can see, I have experienced that. I can see all the 10 dimensions. I can see everything in that within my eyes itself. And that is the experience which I am talking, and it is connected with astatine. And you can see this picture as such. This is dark but can be manifested, can be seen, and I have seen that. Second is the Sakar Sargun, which is supposed to be manifested one, and I call it with xenon. And its power of 54 electrons, 54 protons and 50 neutrons, there is 108. Even the first one has 108. This is the Dhruv Tara, the core of the spiral pole star. It is the one which was used. I have spoken about it from the very beginning, from this angle to the center of the sun, from which we are part of it. Then third experience is what I experienced during those particular rotations. I call it Krypton, and that has got 36, 36, 36, 108 again. That's the significance, 108, which has been recognized by Sanatana Dharma for mantras uniformly from beginning till date. And here in this particular picture you can see the darkness, which is the Nirankar. You can see the pole star, the second one, and the 7 as such. 0 to 1 to 7 is the divine mathematics which runs throughout in the history. Once we understand those 7 things, we can move on the divine mathematics very clearly. That is exactly my objective is. Yantra, mantra, tantra were known to Sanatana Dharma very clearly, but mathematics, Ganit Vidya was also, but precise, concise to deviant level being spoken about in the universe for the first time from 2015 only, and saying Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, all the three are integral part of universal consciousness. They are not separate gods. They are one God with the whole creation is done. First, Brahma is creation, development and maturation. Now the fourth one is Adi Prashakti. We have always spoken about it. I connected with Argan 40. And Argan 40 is the descent of that three thing coming down to the earth, where the creation starts thereafter. And that is what greater universe is. AKHAND was on top. This is going to be Brahmand, a greater higher universe which comes from Adi Prashakti. And this Adi Prashakti is the one when the creations took place, and from there Dattatreya, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, or Durga all appeared only after Adi Prashakti, or Durga as such. And this is where the periodic table also makes it very clear that you have 7 periods and 18 groups. This is where science and spirituality coming to close, they become two sides of the same thing. And this is what I have been saying. Unless in spirituality and science become uniform in divine mathematics, only then the wisdom can be understood. Otherwise, no way. Fifth is the goddess Gayatri, which also know very well as inert matter neon 21. This is where spiral galaxy and solar system and we have come from. And this picture you can see spiral galaxy with it. Normally they say 11, but I say 10.3441. And in picture of Gayatri you can see there is a lotus flower down which has, I take it, 43 petals. 21 plus 22 is 43. They represent Lord Brahma. Then 10 arms represent Vishnu's Dasavatar, 10 incarnations. And 5 heads represent Panchbhutas of Lord Shiva. These put together, which is Gayatri, from which we have come, is from Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh put together is the universal consciousness, and that comes from neon 21. Now come to the question of during the creation, there was union of isomers of 21 and 21 and to formation of neon 21, and with that came the light, Prakash Matra, brilliant, which every religion talks about it, and with time it cooled down to neon 20. And this is where conscious atom, element, molecule started coming thereafter. Now comes the sixth station, goddess Aditi, the inert matter, which is helium 4. And it is said Daksha, the king in Rigved, had 13 daughters who were married to Rishi Kashyap of Kashmir as such. And in this you can see the 6 on the left side, which represents 6 chakras, or Diti for that matter, which takes care of reptilian brain or homeostasis per se. They are perfect, fine. The Aditi has produced 7 things which are 7 divine children. 6 plus 7, 13 plus Rishi are 14, and that's what 1, 6, 7 make a very important role in Sat Chakra Nirupana, our inner consciousness. Now comes the question Aditi. The ancient statement says the mother and daughter of Daksha is Aditi. Upanishads say mother and daughter of Aditya, the sun, is Aditi. It has a 2 proton, 2 neutron, 2 electrons, and this is where it comes. And hydrogen, which is we are going to talk about it, the next one, has only 1 proton, 1 electron. And this inner consciousness is also called Antaratma, it's also called Prana, it's also called Kundalini. And these are the statements which are very important. Now comes the 7th divine soul, Aditya, presiding deity of the solar system. You can see the statement, Chandogya Upanishad says, the sun is a Sakar Brahman. He is the teacher, everything we learn from it. And I know the people who believe Surya is the answer, like Maharishi Yajnavalkya, or for that matter Gayatri Mantra, or me, and there are so many people in India who pray to Lord Shiva and Lord Surya every day, pouring water as it rises. And we are going to talk about that one by one as we move on. Now the first greatest element is hydrogen, which is Aditya, the sun. And it is what forms the helium or Aditi more. But most abundant is hydrogen. 1 proton, 1 electron, you can see right on top. And everything starts from there. This is the basic of thing. All the elements are formed only from hydrogen, which is the smallest particle. Beautiful but fantastic combination. If you want to understand chemistry, you got to understand hydrogen first, and that is Surya. This is the reaction which takes place in the core of the sun, proton-proton nuclear reaction. You can see right on to Aditya, which I say hydrogen, 4 atoms put together unite to form helium. So helium becomes the daughter of Aditya. Same Aditi becomes a mother and gets divided into hydrogen. This reaction goes on in the sun to make sun get the kind of energy. It has got the temperature of 6000 degrees, and hydrogen leading to helium form, and which becomes Antaratma, is at 6000 temperature. So it can remain eternal for generations, and it will carry the message from one life to other as a reincarnation, and that is what I have experienced. Now come to Surya, and there comes something very clear. You can see Surya, and it is 7 horses. This is a very big picture, and same kind of picture by different artists are also given with 7 horses is very, very important. Now we are going to see the applied aspect of AKHAND Brahmand as such, are unique images of AKHAND which I started in the beginning. This was the prelude of 7 divines. Now see the picture you have seen in the very beginning. I have put AKHAND Brahmand on right top. Now I am saying a question. Please observe the symbol very carefully. What are the occult aspects of the wisdom in this particular picture? I want you to hold and stand and see the picture very clearly, and I can tell you, you will find wonder of wonder. Let me show you in this particular picture. Right on top, the picture you are seeing is the pole star. Right at the bottom, you are seeing the sun. And picture you can see on 11 side, there are both left and right have got 11 plus 11 extensions. So this is what it is. 11 plus 11 is 22, and width is 7 times, and height is 22. So there is a 22 by 7 is the size, and 11 plus 11 other sides, and you have core, and you can see. But at the same time, in the middle you can see something which divides the whole thing into upper and lower. The upper becomes 11 by 7 and lower becomes 11 by 7, and that is a symbol of Lord Shiva. Shivling as such. One you are seeing on top is the one you can see in Shivling, and lower one you don't normally see that. So now we are going to show that one by one what I have spoken little more explicitly with the examples. Now look at this particular Shivling. Do you see the upper visual Shivling as such? I have no doubt, and I'm sure you can easily see the height and width is into 11 by 7 only. The lower part you don't see, but it is the same thing in the inversible form. So they represent evolution and involution simultaneously. This process of inside and outside goes on, and I think once you understand that, you will understand the beauty of Shivling as such. And my objective is it is energy form which connect the entire universe. When I talk about Shivling, I am talking about energy form, not Brahma Vishnu separately, but everything is there in the mathematical design itself. And people who believe that, I think they are the one who have divine consciousness. Everything who does not believe in this has a different connotations. I can assure you they haven't understood the divine design, and I will not go into details of it. But you can see the pi. So I am also trying to show the pi 22 by 7 is very important mathematical concept which has been used for generations and generations in every aspect as such. And the first person from India who talked about pi as such is Maharishi Yajnavalkya itself, 5000 years ago. Now come to the Lord Brahma's picture, all of you have seen. But you can see in this particular picture, head. There are 3 full heads and one is a partial head. So they represent 3 plus 1 by 7, which is equivalent to 22 by 7 only. So the heads represent pi. So that means all the creation somewhere along the line starts with the pi or 22 by 7 itself. Now I am taking to Brahma and 7 sages. This particular picture by an artist made me realize that Lord Brahma is talking to 7 sages. Here I am talking it very clearly. I will not name any of the 7 sages as such in this particular name, whatever the world has spoken about it. I am talking about, he is talking about 7 concepts of each product as such. My understanding is each head represent integral 7 parts of the nature, and that's it. 3 into 7 is 21, and 1 partial head is 1, and that is what 22 by 7 as pi is spoken about, which is used in mathematical to find the circumference of the circle itself with radius as such. We will go that later when we come to that stage. Here is only introducing, make you think how divine mathematics is going to take us to step by step to Devyank level. Now comes to the question of Om. I have given the beginning this same symbol which I had created 50 years ago in 1974. Without realizing that I was on spiritual path, I think the inner voice had made me do this. But in this particular thing which Mandukya Upanishad talks about, it is Akara. One part of this particular symbol is Akara, which is a waking consciousness. It's made of 7 parts. Yukara represents the dreaming consciousness, which is again made of 7 parts. Makara represents deep sleep consciousness, which is also made of 7 parts, and 1 part represents the 22nd step of Turiya, and this is again 22 by 7 as such is an Om itself. Anyone who can chant Om as such in different levels, and if he can chant 108 times beautifully, vibrating himself, vibrating earth, vibrating solar system, vibrating thing, you could go right up to Dhruvtara or the pole star as such sitting on the earth itself. And I have done that. I think it's a beautiful mantra. No wonder it's called Pranava. It's a Pranavayu mantra. It is Maha mantra. It is only one Mandukya Upanishad, 12 verses talks about this thing. It's an amazing knowledge of Sanatana Dharma when it comes to divine mathematics in symbolic representation as well as vocal representation in mantra form. Now 22 by 3, I have already spoken. What I have seen the symbol is again top to bottom 11 years, bottom to this another 11 years, the 22 in this also same thing. This is representation of astronauts, modern scientists, and you can see the center is the Divyank, which is 22 by 21 is the one first stage which I am talking about. Others we will go slowly over a period one by one. Now SHIV Ling, the divine design, left side is 11, right side is 11, there are 22. In the process you can see the Divyank symbol as such. Now defective design of pi, which I am going again, that mathematics which the world is talking about by different mathematicians is man-made concept, is defective. This 3.141592 etc. which is given by the scientists is defective. The correct answer is 3.142857, which is the divine design, which is my soul has told me this is the one has to be taken, only then the clarity will come. Now I had a dialogue with the voice of silence of Aditi. Please teach me the science of occult science itself of 7. Foundation occult 7 which is designing I am going to show, which I had experienced way back in 1997. In this again I told you 1 into 7 is what we are going to see in divine mathematics. Now come to Om is a picture which I had designed in 1997. Picture of Om 1974. This second picture 1997, and this was called AKHAND, the impeccable wisdom. We are going to see the beauty. Right at the bottom, on the top of the symbol, you can see this particular 7 is highlight. This is what is essence of the whole symbol is all about. And I think that made me realize how beautiful is divine consciousness. Now we are going to say the marking of this particular thing with symbolic. You have sun right at the center and you have a circle, and this is the representation of 0, shunya, a dot, 0, circle, a sphere as such. But the circle has been divided into 9 parts, and sun in the middle is the first making of the symbol of 7 and the beauty by and large of Sanatana Dharma as such. You are going to see it. Now the first thing, division of 1 by 7 is equal to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7 only, and these are the 6 things represent 6 digits, represent the core design of nature, which is Sat Chakra Nirupana as the 6 chakras only. It does not talk of 7 chakras. Now comes the question of representing. We are connected 1 with 4, 4 with 2, 2 with 8, 8 with 5, 5 with 7, 7 with 1. When I put this particular picture, you see a 5 in the center, and this is the 6th number. You have sun, you have first pentagon in the middle, then you have 6 and you have 7 as such. This is the beauty of nature design. You are going to see how it is going to unfold its divine secrets in India, not of the West. Now I have put another triangle, which is a male triangle, which is Western concept as such, and put it between 3, 6 and 9. No wonder Westerns by and large think 3, 6, 9 is a divine number. That is what Tesla talks about it, and I have no problem. And this particular picture is of the Western concept of Enneagram, because they can think of only male triangle and complete the picture as such they know it. But India, Sanatana Dharma is much ahead. In India, I have added a female triangle and connected, made another 10 points, 10, 11 and 12 in the process. Now you can see, earlier was 5 center, then second was 7, now you have 10 sides. Now you are going to the next, how 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 10. And but only by putting male and female together only the 60 becomes correct. So in this particular thing you have the sun in the middle, then you have 12 numbers, and that makes 12 hours, and then 12 hours a night, and 24 as such to move on. I think that is the divine mathematics which Sanatana Dharma has given to the world in AKHAND form as such. Now same picture I made into what I have put it as in 1997 picture. I think this is phenomenal, and this has taught me same concept is there in Sanskrit language itself. The greatest language in the world even today from the very beginning is only Sanskrit, Devanagari, and done with it. Now I am going to show you this particular picture, Gayatri, which I had other artists have made. Second, semi-animate picture which I made in the beginning, and the same thing in this thing. All the three things becomes the same thing. But you have the petals, 12 petals on either side, and then you have 10 incarnations of Vishnu, and then 5 heads of Lord Shiva, and that is the light of sun as such. I think this is clear that ancient's picture, my picture, and new picture, all the three represent the divine mathematics, is amazing consistency, and once you know the amazing consistency at every level is required, and that is what AKHAND Brahmand is all about. Once you understand this, you understand the whole concept, you will have no mistake whatsoever in the entire knowledge of the world as such. Then come to the next, you are going to show Sanskrit. In this particular picture you can see 11 special constants, then 16 vowels, and 25 constants. So 11, 16 and 25 also following Devyang sequence alone. You all know minchi together. You are seeing divine mathematics in this concept also. 11, 16 and 25 into 52, and again 6, 11. It cannot be surprising, and I am trying to show how different people have seen independently, but have seen the same thing, which I am trying to integrate and show the consistency as such. And same thing is seen in the empirical wisdom of 7 planets and 12 zodiacs, and there are only 7 planets. Sun is the center, and then you have 6. These 7 days are connected with 7 planets, nothing more than that. And because we can see these 7 moving on the earth, that's why the uniformity in the west, north, south and east on 7 days consistent. That Sunday is Saturn, Monday is Moon, Tuesday is Mars, Wednesday is Mercury, Thursday is Jupiter, and Venus is Friday, and Saturday is Saturn. And nobody has a disagreement on this. And going to Navatar and this, and also going to 108 will be taken out of as we move on. And finally we come to this particular stage. I am not going to talk about it. I think let's stick to this. I think it's very thing for give you food for thought and move on. Thank you very